Evolving markets require an alternative approach to investing. Cut through the volatility with Yield Street investments that target fixed durations and income generation. Explore investments in art, real estate, legal finance, and more with minimums starting at $1,000 and targeting annual yields up to 15%. Discover the difference of a diverse portfolio with Yield Street. Head to yieldstreet.com to create your account today.
Would you rather have wireless on the most reliable network nationwide or unlimited with 5G for $30 a month per line? You don't have to choose with Xfinity Mobile. Wireless so good it keeps one-upping itself. Most reliable based on Roots Metric US report. Results vary, not an endorsement. $30 per month per line when you get 4 lines.
Let's get ready to mortgage. He is the prince of programs, guru of guidelines, master of matrices. He puts the fun in funding. Please welcome Mark, Mr. Mortgage Eitel.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Mark Eitel. I am the host of the Mr. Mortgage Show, and we are going to come to you every weekend. So settle in, join us, grab a cup of coffee, and this is an interactive show, so we encourage you to text your questions in. We have a text line, 561-291-8569. That's 291-8569. If you text your questions during the show, we'll be happy to answer them if we can. So we're going to talk all things mortgages and real estate and try to make it a bit exciting and interesting. We're going to cover the news of the week, what got us to this environment that we are in interest rate-wise during the week. So yeah, we'll dig right in. I don't know how many of you follow the stock market, but it was swinging wildly this week, kind of like a trailer full of CDC monkeys on a Pittsburgh highway. That was a crazy news story. I don't know who saw that, but so it was an interesting week in the stock market. We saw, 1,000-point swings in a single day. It seemed to battle back at the end of each trading day, but it's going to be interesting to see where the market goes from here. Influence on interest rates was not as dramatic as we thought. It was more related to the Fed minutes that came out on Wednesday, and all indicators are the Fed's going to increase interest rates moving into this new year cycle, and none of us are surprised by that. I think the interest rate increases are long overdue. And inflation is certainly hastening the pace and the necessity for the Fed to act. So it'll be interesting to see what effect that has on housing and demand in general, because as prices increase, housing becomes less affordable. It's difficult for people to enter the market. Certainly the first-time home buyer is getting pinched. But you couple that with increasing interest rates, it might become more challenging more quickly. So we're all kind of buckled in and watching that. And I know most people are aware that the Fed moves do not directly influence the mortgage rates, but the Fed moves directly influence the cost of consumer debt. So if suddenly your credit card payments are going up, it costs more money to finance a car or a boat or all the toys that you want to put in your garage. That eats into your monthly expenses and becomes more difficult for you to qualify for a mortgage. So we're watching that. All indicators are that housing is going to remain strong. I personally believe we're going to pull back in the appreciation cycle. This is certainly not sustainable at a 20% year over year appreciation cycle. It's just we just can't do it. We've not done it anytime in our past, with the exception of the bursting bubble of the early 2000s. And it's funny, if you look at a chart of housing prices from the early 70s through today, here in Florida in particular, as this is my primary market, so I watch Florida pretty closely. You'll see that the makings of a bubble look pretty clear, but a bubble is only defined as a bubble when it bursts. So, but it does look eerily similar. The differences in the appreciation cycle that we're in now, or the reasons rather, are very different than they were, 10, 15 years ago when we went through the housing bubble. But it is starting to look a little scary on the charts. I think personally that we're going to move into a more sustainable appreciation rate. And I believe it's going to be in the higher single digits. So, somewhere between 6 and 9% is healthy and sustainable. So interest rates are still suffering from upward pressure. So don't be surprised if you're getting quoted a slightly higher interest rate this week than you were 2-3 weeks ago. And anyone who's out there shopping for properties should double check their rate. If you've gotten a pre-qualification, you certainly want to double check with your lender that rate hasn't changed. And if it has changed, does that impact your qualifying amount? And certainly your debt to income ratio should be reevaluated, because the interest rates of December are not with us right now. So it's still a great time to consider purchasing real estate from the cost of money standpoint. Rates even in the fours are ridiculously low historically. So I think we're cautiously optimistic that we're in a safe and sound environment in the real estate world, but we need to watch the upward pressure on interest rates. Also, too, in Florida in particular, I think we need to watch the condo market. There's been some rule changes, if you will, in Fannie and Freddie's guidelines for condos, and that's a direct result of the collapse of the Surfside condo, the Champlain Tower. So we're seeing more stringent questionnaires, or I guess more stringent questions, more detailed questions being added to the typical condo questionnaire, and they're starting to get into analyzing deferred maintenance, the cost of that deferred maintenance, and then the budget position of the condo to be able to pay for that deferred maintenance without negatively impacting the condo's budget. So I say all that just to share that moving forward, condos are going to be more scrutinized from the secondary market standpoint, which is going to make mortgages a little more difficult in the condo market. Couple that with a recent rule change that goes into effect, I believe it's March 1st. I've got my notes in front of me. I'll double check that. But the second home market is going to experience a price increase. Fannie and Freddie have come out and said that second homes are going to get a pricing increase across the board at all loan to values. And why that's important for us is Florida is a big second home market, and condos in particular are a big portion of the second home inventory for the Northerners who want to buy down here. So if you look at the pricing increase that's coming, there's nothing we can do about it. It's the loan letter has already been released, and the increased scrutiny in the condo questionnaires. It's going to be interesting to see if there's any pressure on the condo market here in Florida. I think that may be the first thing affected from these changes. So we're sitting tight and watching all this. We're happy to answer any questions you have. Again, if you have questions, shoot them to that text line, which is 561-291-8569. Or during the week, if you'd like to get a hold of us, just visit the website. It's Mr.Mortgage. That's www.mr.mortgage. There's no .com. It's just Mr. Mortgage. And there's a lot of good information on the website that you may find useful, but also helpful is a contact us link where any questions you have, you can fill out that contact form and we'll do our best to get you the answers that you need. So that's kind of where we are this week. A wild ride on Wall Street. The Federal Reserve has come out and announced that they're getting more aggressive. Everybody's thinking the March meetings will be where the interest rate increases take place first. The secondary mortgage market is directly influenced by Fed policy, and that's where we're seeing this most recent interest rate increase coming from them not buying as many mortgage-backed securities. So we're going to cover some questions in the next segment. I greatly appreciate you spending some time with us here. And if you have questions, text them in, and we will be back right after this break. Thanks for listening to the Mr. Mortgage Show.
Would you rather have wireless on the most reliable network nationwide or unlimited with 5G for $30 a month per line? You don't have to choose with Xfinity Mobile. Wireless so good it keeps one-upping itself. Most reliable based on Roots Metric US report. Results vary, not an endorsement. $30 per month per line when you get 4 lines.
What if your groceries were delivered into your fridge? What if your Walmart order was waiting in your kitchen? And what if your Walmart.com returns were picked up? There's no need to wonder what if when you've got Walmart in-home. Because we deliver beyond your door, whether you're home or away. Our trusted associates enter safely with a one-time access code and record the entire delivery. So you save time and money for what really matters. Visit inhome.walmart.com to start your 30-day free trial.